Welcome back to the videos on how Wizard works. This is on uh, actions and components and mandatory attributes. So if you want to start with the other videos to understand what has happened before, please check out the other videos. We are still in Customer 210. We are still in the wizard on create a new idea, and we are still on the stride capture the idea. So we are still in wizard 153. We are in a stride in a page which is called capture the idea. Capture the idea. Here's the title. And now we want to talk about this back and this currently missing next button. So why do I not see the next button? This is why there are conditions set to this next button, to the navigation. So in the other video I explained that strides, so the pages are connected between each other with the navigation, over the navigation. And for this stride it is said that there is a back button which brings you back to selection of corporate division, and there is a next button which guides you to the team page. And currently we do not see the next button because, let's go to, and to understand this you need to activate now the next button, and then you would see the conditions which are defined for this button. So it is important to not only select the correct stride, but as well to select the right navigation, in that case next, to understand why there is no next button. Let's go to the conditions, and the conditions say that an attribute which is called class, which has a store item ID, needs to be bigger than 0. So what exactly does that mean? So let's go to first the components again to see that there's attributes on that page like description, goal and class. And the class has a drop down. And the wizard says these are the attributes which shall be shown. And one of the conditions set is that this attribute, which is called class, which is this attribute, this shall not be empty, because it is said it has to be bigger than 0. Currently in this moment class is empty because nothing is selected. Once I select something from the list, it is not empty anymore, and all of a sudden next button appears. So this is a mandatory field for navigation, because there's a condition on this very attribute which says if this attribute is empty, then you should not be able to navigate. If this is filled with anything, then proceed. This can be set to any attribute. So if you, for example, say the description shall not be empty either. Okay, let's go to the conditions of this navigation. Say this attribute from this portfolio project with the name, description, with the in this item ID, please check out the other video to understand what the item ID exactly is, shall be greater than 0. So shall have something in it. So now I have set up two conditions. All of them, both of them, have to apply for me to navigate. So let's go into that page again, refresh to ensure that everything is properly set. So let's check out. This was the only condition until now, and now we should see a next button. But now we have said that description shall be mandatory as well, shall not be empty. This is a good idea. So once there is text, it is not empty anymore. You see the next navigation. Why? Because you have set these two conditions to apply for this next button. On the back button, there is no condition, and you see two ways to define conditions. The way I've used it now, this is the more modern way with placeholders and stuff. The way I set up the conditions was using the old parameter settings, where you have a very handy drop-down menu to fulfill your needs. The other one is a bit more complex, offers much more functionality, and might be described in another video. Okay, so this is on the mandatory attributes and how they influence navigation. Thanks a lot.